My dear friend, how are you? Now that we have completed 2 episodes, we are here with the third episode. Yes, it's going to be a long series with slightly longer episodes, but a proper evaluation, a proper study, a proper delivery of any subject is always deep, is always lengthy, is always heavy-weighted. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. As a startup founder, you have been struggling with so many unexpected corners and things, and this can lend you a better option. So startups are taking the word with a storm. People are really flabbergasted to see the startup ecosystem being developed in India. As an investor, track startups over multiple decades. Track startup over multiple decades. Hello friends, Namaskar, Pranam, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. To all my fellow colleagues, friends, and startup founders and investors, Jai Ho. Now that we have completed 2 episodes, we have reached episode number 3. Startup, you and me. Startup, you and me. Somewhere you are me, somewhere me you. As I've been telling in last 2 episodes, along with the curtain raiser, somewhere I am investor, somewhere you're investor, somewhere I'm startup, somewhere you're startup founder. Somewhere I'm employee, somewhere you're employee, somewhere I'm supplier, somewhere you're supplier. Somewhere I'm customer, somewhere you're customer. So startups are taking the word with a storm. People are really flabbergasted to see the startup ecosystem being developed in India. More than 100 unicorns in less than 3 years. Almost $100+ billion being invested into startups. Still thousands of them are in the fray. We have been discussing about startups in last 2 episodes, including the curtain raiser. I hope you must have liked it. Now let us come to the point. How others think about the why now question. Why now question will not leave, will never leave until you become a success. Seed funding, first round, Series A, Series B, Series C, and go on, so on, till you become a unicorn. An environment or emerging trend may create a situation that a team can use to its advantage. Environment and emerging trend are very empirical to create a situation where the team can use it to their advantage. The same team working on the same business or product may have had a harder time earlier when that environment was different and when those trends hadn't yet emerged. वक्त की बात है. कल तुम्हारा था, आज हमारा है. Time, when, how, why, now. And some companies already in operation but struggling benefit from timing in that they were conditionally ready to take advantage of a new opportunity arisen out of why now, how, when. These are the points to ponder. As a founder, as an investor, track startups over multiple decades. Track startup over multiple decades. What you find is the most ideas do end up working. It's more a question of when, not if. Just look at a very partial list of .com era startups that failed. .com. Some people might not be known about it because the youngsters were not there, or were there but not at the point of understanding. They must be kids, they must be students. Just look at a very partial list of .com era startups that failed, paired with the related success that came later. Comments seems to hold. The ideas themselves weren't bad if others were eventually went on to succeed and build them. See? Time, patience, sustenance, retention, follow-up. We can have a look at the list in the table. Grocery delivery, Webvan, 1999, discontinued in 2001. Instacart, first available 2012, still active, 10 years. Local delivery, Cosmo, 1998, discontinued in 2001, 4 years gone. Postmates, 2011, active, acquired by Uber in 2020. I'm talking of all the American startups. Indian startups are also there, but not as old as American startups. Social networking, theglobe.com, started in 1995, effectively discontinued in 2001. Facebook, the legendary startup, 2004 started, still active, going very strong, taking the whole world with them. Pet products, pets.com, 1998, discontinued 2000, hardly 3 years. Chevy, 2011, active, acquired by PetSmart. Fashion, Boo, 1998, discontinued in 2000. Sheen, started in 2008, still active. Music, Napster, started in 1999, discontinued in 2002, though later it was revived. Spotify, the big name these days, 2006, and working very strong, still active. Cloud Network Computer, 1998, discontinued in 1999. AWS, started in 2006, still active. A very limited list of failed .coms and later comparable. Comments specific to new tech companies? Do others focus on timing in the history also? Let's ground ourselves by going back to a couple of centuries to Napoleon Bonaparte. How many years back? A century back. Someone who upended entire governments in Europe. You would think Napoleon would have believed that he could do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, force through. And yet, when it came to importance of timing, he said, I never was truly my own master, but was always controlled by circumstances. I never was truly my own master, but was always controlled by circumstances. And we also have the popular approach to this. The most famous scene in the movie, The Graduate. Let's have a look at this scene.
I just want to say one word to you. Just one word.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Plastics.
I think there was a distortion in the noise in the shot. You might not have been able to understand what both gentlemen were talking. Let me repeat it for your convenience. Mr. McGurry, I want to say one word to you. Just one word. Benjamin says, yes, sir. Mr. McGurry, are you listening? Benjamin, yes, I am. Mr. McGurry, plastics. Benjamin says, exactly how do you mean? Mr. McGurry says, there is a great future in plastics. Think about it. Will you think about it? We laugh at this scene, but the thing is, McGurry was right. And he was talking about timing. Timing and timing. If you look at the chart, the bar chart, the graph, if you look at the graph, the amount of plastic produced globally, McGurry was right. The plastic industry went on to grow at a tremendous rate after his comment. If you were a young college graduate at that time, as Benjamin was, you could have built a company or a career in plastic industry. Almost 50 years back, I remember the first plastic bag came to my home in the year 1974 or 75. Somebody flew down to India from America. They brought some handbags. Many metal utensils, many metal materials were being replaced with plastics, and now plastic is everywhere. Note that McGurry didn't say, go work for DuPont, or you should join Dow Chemical. He said plastics, plastics, and plastics. And then let Benjamin sort out his path forward, which ended up not involving plastics at all. So I'm modifying Napoleon McGurry's comment to the simple definition, I would say, simple sentence, I would say. Understanding timing in your market is essential. When teams don't ask why now, they miss opportunities to be more successful and risk setting themselves up for a failure. Total failure. Here we end this point and come down to the next. Thank you very much, friends, for very patiently watching the third episode of Startup You and Me. Now let us move to next episode, number 4, with other points. In the meantime, I would request you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is going to go a long way in encouraging me.